Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for January 24, 2022, the Burnout in Compliance Edition. And we begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal, as banking compliance officers have had the highest rate of burnout since the number was being tracked in 2000. Obviously, they want better jobs, better work-life balance, a break from the corporate grind. This is particularly true in the banking and the compliance function in the banking sector. It's not simply the long day, it's the density of the entire day, bouncing from Zoom to Zoom, all the while as regulators ramp up pressure and banks try to comply with such new laws as the AML law of 2020. So it's not clear what the solution might be, whether it be additional tech or additional resources. Nevertheless, problem banks are going to have to take a serious look at. Next up, dissent in the Magic Kingdom as the granddaughter of Walt Disney premieres a film at Sundance about the obscene pay, what she calls the obscene pay inequality of executives at Walt Disney and those who work for the company. It is a pretty damning picture, and the harshness of it is driven home more by that it's the family members involved in this. So more on pay inequality, this time from scions of the Disney family themselves. Peleton is our next story from the Washington Post. It's certainly been a tough ride for Peleton as the company's stock was pummeled, as it's indicated that due to the downturn in its business, it's going to shut down production. Obviously, a very difficult position for the company to be in. Its stock is now at 24 from a high of 169 during the height of the pandemic, when a lot of people were looking to work out at home and bought Peleton bikes and subscribed. Of course, the safety issues and other issues that the company has faced is they wonder, is this stock performance because of bad news or simply bad luck? And final story comes to us from Reuters, as a panel from U.S. Congressional Committee has invited board members at 4 major oil companies to testify about the industry's role in climate change disinformation. Obviously, this is something that Congress is very concerned about. We had releases of this information last year, and now they want to talk to boards about it. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.